I can't remember what it's supposed to say.
Do you want me to start it? Alright, I'll start it. Hey, Colby, where we're going...
You don't need eyes to see.
That is a total ripoff off Back to the Future. There's like no way that Paul Wes Anderson could be like, no, that's totally original.
Right.
What's going on, guys? My name is Barry.
And this is Colby.
And this is Who Watches This. Theme music. What's going on, guys? We are on the 4th movie of Flop Movie Month.
Flop Movie Month!
And there was plenty of discussion on what our last movie should be. We threw around Final Fantasy.
Right,
which
yeah.
was a total flop.
Yeah, it was good, though.
I didn't give it a chance because I was such a fan of the Final Fantasy games.
Oh, yeah, it didn't...
Nothing about those games.
Nothing to do with the game.
What was the other movie?
I know that at the beginning we were like, we're not doing John Carpenter.
Yeah.
And
we were also not going to do that John Mars movie from Disney.
Right.
So Colby had thrown out there one of my favorite horror space movies.
Right.
Event Horizon.
Somehow I knew that, like, I was like... He's going to have seen this one. He'll know this one.
You know, and it boggles my mind because whenever someone thinks about space horror movies, they go straight to Alien.
Right.
Straight to Alien because to give Ridley Scott props, it was probably it's the original space horror film of like modern film.
Yes.
Because you can't discount When Mars Attacks and all those old Alien drive-in movies, but
right, yeah, of the modern era,
exactly. But honestly, half of the people that's listening to this aren't gonna know the old drive-in movies. And it's still surprising me that here in Vegas we still have a drive-in movie theater.
We do, and since the regular movie theaters are all closed, the drive-in movie theater is actually doing well.
Well, okay, so the drive-in movie theater here always had awesome deals where they were doing 2 movies for one.
Yes.
So it's always like an older movie and then the featured film. And
I believe it was not by person, it was by like car, so it was like...
Saving a lot of money.
Yeah, throw all your friends into a car and it's still $10.
Except during the summer because everyone's dead by the end of that.
Yes. Yeah.
If you guys haven't been to Vegas... summer is a death. Oh, being in the car during summer is an endurance trial.
It's warm. Yeah, it's like 110, 112 during the day, and then at night it cools down to like 99.
And you are relieved when it gets to 99 at nighttime, because even though like the night isn't long enough for the pavement to cool off, so it's just always hot. But yeah, like I was always surprised that when I talked about Event Horizon when I was younger, like no one's ever seen it. They never gave it a shot. I remember I picked this up because I grew up in the age of going to the video store and judging movies off of their VHS covers. Yeah,
I could see that. It is actually it's a very cool looking ship, and it's boom right there on the cover.
But you also grew up in that era going to like a mom and pop's VHS store, rental store.
Yep.
And how many times have you rented a movie based on the cover?
Well, back then, every time.
You're like, Dr. Monroe's Island? What's that about?
Yeah, about 1 in 10 I would be like, oh, this movie finally came out and I didn't see it in the theater. But the rest of the time was like, the chopping mall? What?
Oh.
A robot with a laser gun in a shopping mall? Yeah, I got to try that one.
So, if you guys haven't heard of Paul Wes Anderson's Event Horizon, I think this is probably one of his first early movies.
So this followed...
second, right?
Yeah, this followed Mortal Kombat.
Exactly. So a lot of people were expecting a lot. You know, he got a huge budget for the time, which was $60 million.
Right.
Unfortunately, it only got $26 million in the box office.
That is true.
Yeah.
That is...
And unfortunately, we will never be able to see a director's cut in the Blu-ray because I did research, and apparently there was a huge amount of backstage trouble, production troubles, interference with the movie studios.
Right.
And then for some reason, the extra film and stuff they had stored it in this old silo.
Yes.
And it caught on fire.
Right. Yeah. I wasn't sure exactly what happened, but it definitely they had stored it improperly, and it is no longer around.
Which is it's such a shame because we will never be able to actually see Paul Wes Anderson's original vision for this movie. Right.
Yeah, because I apparently, like, at Comic-Cons and stuff, they had talked about it, and there's from the original, from what I'm like I was looking into this also. From what I was they did test screenings for it, and then they cut it way back from the original test screen. More than 30 minutes cut out of the movie.
That is a lot.
And then, but then they estimated that there was also another 15 minutes or so of stuff that Wes had cut out before he did the test screening. So about 45 minutes of stuff. And then when they released the DVD, and they were like, the director's cut DVD, everybody was super happy, and only 10 of that 45 minutes
because
on there because that's all they've got.
That's the only film that they could salvage from that fire.
Yeah.
Which is unfortunate because, I mean, Paul Wes Anderson, I think at this point in his career was probably like, all right, I'm coming off this Mortal Kombat high, and I'm about to just change the space horror genre forever. But because it was like a mixture of Aliens and Hellraiser.
Oh, yeah.
A ton of torture scenes. But I think when he had shown it to the studio, they're like, dude, that's way too much torture.
Right, because they were, I guess, for the test screening, they were threatening to give them an NC-17.
Which basically means death for a movie.
Yeah.
Because that's straight to VHS at that time.
Right. Oh, yeah, and I mean, like, it was in the age of VHS, so it was, that's, they didn't think about director's cut and cut scenes and DVD extras. It just wasn't a thing, so they didn't, that all that extra footage was just like, throw that away.
I know, and because this movie is criminally short. It is about an hour and 32 minutes, right? Which I don't think is enough to explore this lore-heavy universe that Paul Wes Anderson wanted to do.
Yeah.
Because this movie has inspired a bunch of other things coming after it. But one of the main ones is probably PlayStation 3's big hit, Dead Space.
Okay.
The guy who created it has said that it was heavily inspired by Event Horizon and all that stuff. And it's a shame.
Right.
Because
it's a little Doomish also.
Yeah, Doomish. I mean, I think Space, what it's called? The space movie with Matthew LeBlanc. Robinson Family.
Oh, uh-huh.
Yeah, like, I'm not saying that they were inspired by it, but, it came probably around 2000-ish, and it felt like it had that tense moment when you're in this abandoned spaceship and you're exploring it. And so I think there's a lot of missed moments because as you watch this movie, it feels too short.
Right. Yeah, they definitely selected a few characters to focus on.
Yeah.
Where apparently some of that cutscene kind of gave more depth to all the characters.
And all the characters are fairly interesting. They
Right.
all have their own trauma because as you go on through the movie, a lot of them are plagued by their trauma. But you don't understand why. It sort of becomes just a passing comment.
Yeah. Just like scary stuff to spook people, but you don't understand how those scary things were those people's like deepest rooted fears.
Yeah, like we have, I think the medic on the ship, and when she goes to the med bay to see what's happening, she she unveils whatever was on the table, and it's her son, and he has like nails all over his feet,
and his legs are all chopped up.
Yeah, but we don't know why that's traumatizing to her. I mean, obviously as a parent it's traumatizing to see your child in that state,
right?
Why did she
and like that? Very early you kind of see her and she has a picture of the son like in a wheelchair, but is it did she get in a car accident? Did she do something that caused that? And so that is this deep-rooted fear that she's the cause of his handicap.
Which it's unfortunate because it really sort of lessens the intensity and the trauma that these characters are feeling.
Yeah.
Which like I said, it's just a shame. Me hoping as a fan that he reboots it.
That would be fantastic.
Because I mean, at this point in his career, they've already given him like 7 Resident Evil movies. So why? So yeah, I'm gonna put this on Twitter, but please, like, somehow this reaches him to reboot Event Horizon.
Yeah.
Because I just want to see how this would look like in today's technology. Set is beautiful. Oh, well, he gets a pass on this because he actually built a lot of that set.
Yeah.
Right?
It's a lot of practical effects. Most of the CG is used in like correlation with practical effects.
Which is the best.
So it is the best. The only one, like really the only one scene is like kind of the opening scene as they're getting close to the Event Horizon, and there's all the things like the books and the bottles and stuff floating, and it's like the beginning of a kids movie. Like it's just really bad, like
CG.
like 1990s Sci-Fi Channel, like.
But I mean, the rest of the movie totally makes up for the entire set design,
right?
The practical effects.
That could have been one of the scenes they cut, and then put one of the other scenes back in.
But the other scene is probably just going to be like 5 minutes of torture, and they're like, "That's too much torture." Yeah. But I mean, he's trying to depict what a hell dimension looks like,
right?
And so I don't understand why. Who's the creator of Hellraiser?
Clive Barker.
I don't know why Clive Barker gets a pass.
Right.
But Paul Wes Anderson doesn't.
So apparently, he had talked to Clive Barker about things in this movie, and Clive Barker had maybe it was one of the
practical effects guys.
Maybe the practical effects guys was somebody that Clive Barker had used in his movies, because who was like, "Oh yeah, if you're going to be doing that here, you should use this guy because he's
good."
Yeah.
And I mean, like the small glimpses that you get of the torture scenes are pretty haunting.
Right.
Like don't put me there. This is why I don't want to go to space, if that's a possibility.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to go to a very quick overview of the film, and that way we could just talk about our scenes, and hopefully you guys enjoy us talking about it more than us just going through a Wikipedia type of plot review. Right? And so the basic premise of the movie is that there is this team of space explorers and scientists that have to retrieve the Event Horizon, who has gone dark for, I think, maybe
7 years.
7 years. Okay, see, when you're gone for 7 years, that ship is just gone.
And the ship was just gone, and they had no contact or anything, and then the ship just reappears behind Neptune.
Yeah, see, like it's like when you're on a roller coaster and you wear a hat, and then the hat just flies. That's gone.
It's gone.
It's gone forever.
Yep.
Don't look for it.
Right.
Because there's probably bird shit in it. A distress beacon has gone off the event horizon, and so this team, this space exploration team, and this scientist who is at this point in time our main character,
right,
have to go retrieve the ship. We have Lawrence Fishburne, aka oh my god, what's his name? Morpheus. There you go. Morpheus, who is the captain of this ship, doesn't want to be there because they had probably just gotten done with another space space mission,
right?
And we're finally on a vacation.
And they don't give you any real background on the characters on like where. So I don't know if they're scientific or if they're military,
right?
But or maybe it's like they kind of fall halfway in between.
See, it's in that 45 minutes that's missing.
Right.
But you can tell that Lawrence Fishburne does not want to do this mission. He already feels it in the years of experience that he probably has, that, hey, a ship that's been gone for 7 years can't be nothing good in there.
Right.
But this doctor, a scientist, whatever he is, I think he's one of the people who designed the Gravity Zero engine.
Yes.
And so he's like, we have to retrieve that engine and we have to get the data on that ship because God knows where it's gone.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. Because it's supposed to be able to travel at the speed of light by folding space-time and kind of like wormholing it, basically.
Yeah, the very class. They did the same explanation in Interstellar, where he folds a piece of paper and he says the fastest point from A to B is fuck C or fuck whatever's in between and go straight to B.
Yep.
And so they use the folding paper trick, and then he puts a hole through it, and so it's pretty much the engine is pretty much there to create a wormhole.
Yeah.
Which, again, it's not in our realm to do that. Yeah, I don't think our brains are big enough to comprehend that. We've seen what happened to Scarlett Johansson when she used too much of her brain.
Right.
If you guys haven't seen Lucy, that might be on a future movie.
That was a good movie too. I did like that.
So yeah, he wants to retrieve all the data and everything like that. So they get to the event horizon. We start the movie. We skip the whole journey part.
Right. They go into stasis, basically, like little water tubes.
And during this time, the doctor has been having these nightmares of his wife who committed suicide.
Yes.
Very terrifying, though, because every time he sees her face, she has no eyes.
Right.
There's just holes. But yeah, so they wake up from stasis. They get ready to go into the ship. Lawrence Fishburne tells the doctor, like, no, you're staying here. We're going to go because this is our job.
Yeah.
But of course, Mr. Know-It-All Doctor has to go in as well. And so as they explore the ship, Lawrence Fishburne starts to see that there's something wrong with the ship.
Right. Yeah. So they originally don't find any crew or anything.
Crew's all gone.
Yeah. But then one person gets onto the bridge.
Yep.
And powers out. But you kind of see like splatters of people around.
No, they're just hoping it's ketchup that the hot dog couldn't contain in space, I don't know if you've ever seen ketchup in Zero Gravity, but apparently it's like wildfire and spreads over everything. But he's sort of the first victim of the ship.
Yeah.
And so they take him back to the bridge. But at this point in time, the doctor has started to feel the influence of this ship.
Yeah.
So it almost feels like it's pretty much a haunted house in space.
Right? And almost like the ship talks to the doctor more than anybody else because it's its creator.
Well, I think it's either that or maybe it also... Was his wife a part of the original crew?
I didn't think so,
right? Or maybe I guess maybe it is because it birthed.
But
was the person
I guess if you have like some kind of spirit connection, some kind of haunting, and like because this was what the doctor spent all of his time on, and then his wife was just like, "You have neglected me. I'm going to kill myself," kind of thing.
It is
maybe her spirit is somehow
tied
to that.
Oh, or maybe because he was so busy building the zero gravity engine that the ship knows that the reason it was built is the reason why his wife committed murder or suicide.
Yeah.
So that is just us speculating. We're not
right,
sure.
and it's you kind of. I come to that just because he started having the nightmares and stuff before they get to the event horizon. So he's already got some kind of attachment to it.
Yeah. Maybe it's the more traumatic history that you have, the more the ship can pull from that.
Possibly.
Because if it's gone to a hell dimension, I guess it's become sentient. I don't know. We don't know. It's in that lost 45 minutes. But yeah, as they're trying to explore the ship more, they're trying to grab the data. They're trying to grab the zero gravity engine. The ship starts to suck the Doctor in more and more as time goes by, to the point where when Lawrence Fishburne realizes we gotta get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
And if you're not on the ship, you could walk home. What does the Doctor say?
I'm already home.
Oh, see, when he says that, I'm out. We are out of here.
And it's a creepy scene too, because it's just the perfect amount of shadows as he's slowly walking backwards down the hallway and just kind of disappears. It's well shot.
It reminded me of the scene from The Strangers when they first started invading the home, and Sackman was just in the back, stepping out of the shadows and then back into it. So, see, I love it when a movie knows how to build up the tension using quiet.
Yep.
It's so good. But yeah, but during the beginning or in the middle of the whole film, the entire staff starts to lose it as well. Even the staff that's not on the ship.
Right.
Because when they get to the ship, they have to they have to dock onto one of the docking stations on the ship. So essentially, their ship, the Lewis and Clark, if you guys know your history, major explorers.
Yep.
Had it had almost been a part of the ship as well, and so some of its influence was leaking onto the Lewis and Clark.
Yeah. Where
the medic girl, she's seeing her son. Maybe he had polio. I don't know what that's supposed to.
Right.
His legs, but I mean, if you're traveling in space, are you saying that polio sort of came back like a super polio? I'm not
right. And like the one person who you get there, and the person Alfred from Gotham.
Yeah.
He's the pilot, and he's like, I'm not going on that ship. We have a breach in the hull, so I am just going to be outside in space fixing things so we can go home because nope. Nope to that ship.
Yeah, because I mean, it's like I don't know, like for you, but like there's always certain people that can get a vibe off something.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I should probably not do that.
Right. Right.
And so he's probably the smartest person in this movie. Fuck this doctor who made this wormhole engine. This guy.
And it mostly starts because he uses the pilot Alfred's like Playboy centerfold as his like, let me fold this up and jab a pen through it to show you how we're gonna breach time and space.
He's like, oh no, that's where my finger was gonna go. But unfortunately, he is not one of the people that survive. He gets blown to bits.
Yeah.
Which is really unfortunate. A lot of the crew members do not make it in this movie.
Right.
We have Lawrence Fishburne, who, like a true hero, sacrifices himself for his squad.
Yep.
I'm pretty sure after he died there, he woke up in the Matrix as Morpheus.
It could be. It could be.
It's all connected, Kobe. The Wachowski brothers and Paul Wes Andersons are actually cousins in real life. But the only people that end up surviving is his best friend, his second lieutenant or second mate or whatever you call it.
Yep.
For a spaceship. Hilarious. I like that guy in movies because he's always pretty funny.
Yeah, he's a great comic relief, and like there's parts of this movie that get pretty graphic and pretty intense.
Yeah.
And it would be stressful to watch a 2-hour movie of that, and you just need that every once in a while, that little break of the quirky guy just kind of like letting your brain reset a little bit.
Well, so what I think Paul Wes Anderson's vision for that character was, he was supposed to voice the reason and logic of an audience member who, like, I mean, if you're not in that situation, it's totally your thinking and your logic is totally different from when you're in the situation.
Oh yeah.
But there's always people in the theater like, I'd never do that. That's stupid. And he was pretty much that guy to be like, I don't think so.
Feet, do your duty.
Yeah, he had great moments in this movie, especially when he sort of got launched into space and then he smart enough to use the acceleration from his oxygen tank to propel him back to the ship.
Right.
But the moment he gets back to the ship, he almost gets shot in the face through a window.
Right.
And he still makes it back to the ship. Awesome. And the only other person to survive is the hot nurse. I don't know what she is. Hot engineer that he had been flirting with the entire movie. Which I'm like, maybe I missed some parts, but did she have a bigger role in this movie than I was thinking? Or
so apparently she had a lot of her lines and stuff got cut out because there was her and Lawrence Fishburne's original character were originally
like
ex-wife and ex-husband or something. Okay. Or maybe it was like somehow in a serious relationship and it no longer was, but then they were just like, we don't want to make this a romance, let's just cut that out.
See, but
so there's because there's a chunk where she's just not in the movie. Yeah. And it's weird, because you're almost like, oh, a couple people kind of died off screen. Yeah. Maybe she was one of them. And then all of a sudden she's there and she's like the Ripley of Aliens and finishes out the movie super strong.
See, that's why the movie, I get when people say this movie is disorganized, it's disjointed, the flow gets choppy and it does, the flow is out of whack, but that's the reason why, is because I was like, why did she survive?
Right.
Like, why was she important enough to be the pivotal scene at the end of the film? Why did she get the dream nightmare thing? But I guess it didn't have to be a romance, but it would understand, that would explain sort of the weird tension that they had in the film.
Yeah.
Because it's obvious that he cared about his crew, but it felt like he cared a little bit more about her.
Yes, definitely.
But not enough to be pissed off when his best friend, second mate, kept making passes at her. Because I guess, there has to be some sort of understanding when you're a part of this crew and you spend this amount of time together that sexual relations will go all over the place. Yeah.
But you're right. Cause it's you definitely see that he had some kind of connection with her, and then he definitely has some kind of connection with the pilot.
Yeah.
And those, you could see, and then so it was you could see how much it affected him when the pilot blows up.
Yeah. But that was a pretty epic death though.
Compared to the way some of the people died, I think just getting blown up in space may be the best preferable way to go.
Because definitely, the scene with let's get to the end of the film first before we start just talking about our the favorite things that we had. But so Lawrence Fishburne ends up having this final battle with the Doctor, who is now just an agent of the Hell Dimension. Yeah. Because he has no eyes, his body is all cut up,
all mangled. Yep.
And he's walking on. I don't think he was walking on water, but he was on fire in water, and a whole mess of things. Like if that guy was at the end of the street, I'd probably cross the street to.
I would move off that block if that guy was on the street.
You're I'm not giving you any change, dude. You're freaking me out. You have open sores and you have no eyes. I feel really bad for you, but I also feel like you might eat my heart.
Yeah.
But yeah, Lawrence Fishburne ends up. He had a C4 or so one of the explosives they were going to use to blow the ship up to kill the both of them and the gravity engine.
Right.
Because I'm feeling is that is the source of the Hell Dimension's power.
Because they kind of quickly glance over that there's like a set of explosives down like the main corridor that if there's a problem with this time-space reactor, that they can blow that, and then the front of the ship will like basically seal itself and be like a space pod, or I guess a survival pod that will send out a beacon, and then you can survive on that because that's where the stasis tubes are.
Yeah.
Until you get rescued, and so that way there's a division between where the engine is, because this is the first time they've ever used this engine, and who knows, maybe it just blows up and it goes nuclear.
And creates a black hole right next to Neptune.
Yes,
that'll end up eating the entire solar system.
Exactly.
Funny thing is though, when they start showing the hell scenes in here, I was just like, I'm pretty sure that's just the dimension that Nightcrawler poofs into and poofs out of.
Oh, I would not teleport if that's a last resort if I have to teleport through that dimension.
Well, I mean, but Nightcrawler, he's spending like milliseconds in that dimension, so it's very, and he kind of looks like he's a part of it anyway, so I'm pretty sure no one's messing with him. But that was my thought when they were showing that dimension.
Right.
But yeah, and so so Lawrence Fishburne ends up sacrificing himself to blow up the gravity engine and the doctor, because obviously he has just become an agent of chaos for this whole thing. His best friend, the second lieutenant, and his apparently ex-wife or ex-lover have gone back into stasis and launched themselves back to, I'm pretty sure, the closest station, where they had mentioned earlier in the movie, where they're like, we're 400 clicks away from the last station. And but before that, she has a dream sequence where they're getting saved, and when they open the mask, it's the doctor, still cut up, and she's freaking out. But then we cut into another scene where she actually just wakes up from stasis, and they are being saved. So we get a decently happy ending. Decently,
but you don't know, because the doctor was having the dreams before he got there. Yeah. Now they're leaving, and she's having the dreams as they're leaving. So maybe enough of hell matter is in this pod that it's bringing it back to Earth. I mean, it certainly does leave it so you could, without too much imagination, make a sequel off of this.
Right, because then it might have latched onto her as well. Right. To where maybe she becomes slowly possessed by this hell dimension, and will bring more people to explore. Because, I mean, obviously, corporations really don't care. They just want the technology back. Yeah, right. And they're like, we have to go recover whatever got blown up. Yeah. But I think if you blow something up in space, it's long gone, because there's no gravity holding it down to that certain area, right? That would be my argument at the boardroom meeting. Like, nah, dude, it's gone. I'm also not going to Neptune. I heard there's octopuses over there.
That's where the octopuses come from.
The Europa report. Oh no, that was in the moon. Sorry. But yeah, I definitely think this movie deserves a reboot, and Paul Wes Anderson in full control of the movie. That way, he could make the movie he couldn't make in '97. Right,
and we kind of jab at it a lot as we did our little synopsis, but this was a good movie, and I jab at it because I just would love to see it be even better, to see the director's actual vision on something like this.
Yeah. And I think at this point in time, movies have become normally almost 2 hours. Right. And so I feel if Paul Wes Anderson got enough control, got enough backing to remake this movie, that this movie could easily be enjoyable at even 2 hours and 10 minutes, to where he could really fully develop this crew, the lore behind this engine, or like this hell dimension. We can get more of a uncovering of what happened to the previous crew and everything like that. I just think it was just a real shame that they really, like, this movie was good enough to be enjoyable, but to know that it was supposed to be better.
Yeah. Right. And it's everybody in it is good, and everybody does a great job. Like, it's not, we have got the movie where you're like, our three main characters are awesome, and everybody else is kind of a nobody, so you don't even really care about them. They're the person who's there for Jason to hack up. You know, everybody in here is a super strong character, so you really want to see more of each of them.
Yeah, and it's a shame because I know, like, this movie is like 20 plus years old,
right?
At this point, 23 years old, and it would be hard to bring back the original characters because they're so much older now. So it's a shame that, like, I like the I guess he was like the engineer, one of the engineer guys. He had hair. He wasn't the bald one that got blown up by the C4,
right? But
I think he was one of the people who got his, like, head smashed in or something. I liked him in this movie. Like, we apologize. I only know Lawrence Fishburne. I don't know the doctor's name.
Sam Neill is the doctor.
Neill. Oh, okay.
I can't remember the pilot, but I know he is Alfred Pennyworth from well, either from Alfred Pennyworth the show but from Gotham.
Yeah. And so there's a ton of strong actors in here. Like, I feel like they gave it 100% for this movie. And it's just a shame that they cut off so much character building for the rest of the crew.
Right.
Because, like, they all of them, usually in any kind of movie, you sort of feel like, oh, that guy's a dick. I don't like his character. I hope he dies. This one, did you feel that way about any of the characters?
No. Right. I mean, like, the doctor's the worst person, and he's just and he's not even bad. Like,
he doesn't.
And it's an interesting, like, I was watching, like, lots of reviews and stuff on this, and, like, you know, a lot of people hated him as that character, like, that actor. Yeah. Because it was, like, they kept thinking he was so wishy-washy, because sometimes he feels like, you totally feel like he's for the crew, and so sometimes you feel like he's towards the Event Horizon ship.
Yeah.
But, like, to me, it, like, totally makes sense. If it's pulling him, then, you know, that's exactly how he's going to act.
Yeah, it makes sense for the shift of his character to slowly become evil.
Right.
You know, but really, when this movie starts, you feel like he's the main character, like he's the good guy.
Yeah.
Because it's so easy to write a scientist as the dick, evil, narrow-minded, goal-focused person,
right? Who
doesn't care about the people that surround him, that just wants to do what he set out to do. But he doesn't give off that feeling until towards the end when the ship has taken over.
Right.
Him.
Right.
Yeah. So and at the beginning of the movie, you kind of don't like Lawrence Fishburne. He's sort of a dick,
and he is sort of a dick. Yeah.
He's like, the doctor's like trying to say that, like, he's trying to explain the whole logistics of the whole thing, and he's saying the math stuff, but he's like, oh, well, that's pretty difficult math. I don't know if you'll understand. But he doesn't say it in a way that's condescending. He just says it like he means it. Like, this is like graduate, like, or PhD doctorate level math.
Right.
And I'm not trying, he's not trying to insult you.
To the point where it's this like super black book classified engineering that no one knows about except for this teeny tiny team that he worked on, and he's the one who's selected to go into space.
Yeah. And so, but then, like, Lawrence Fishburne in the beginning of the film, sort of, he feels very combative. He's very aggressive towards the doctor.
Right.
But then towards the end of the film, you like him because he's just looking out for his team.
Right. Yep.
Which, that's probably, those two characters, Lawrence Fishburne and Sam Neill, are probably what they wanted to focus on because they are the best written characters in this movie. Mm-hmm. And I don't care what anyone says, like, oh, he's so wishy-washy, but you have to understand that, like you said, of course he's going to shift into this madness, and that's why he feels wishy-washy, but it makes sense for the premise of the film.
Right. Yeah. And I thought, I mean, and then they were like, he's not demonic enough. His body's all chopped up, and he's got so one or two of the like little deleted scenes they show on the internet, like online, where they like it's just pictures of him, and not only is he like just chopped up, but a lot of it is like symbols, like chopped into him, which makes it more demonic,
more menacing.
It's not just
they're not random cuts. It's like this hell dimension has etched onto him,
right?
The power or whatever. We also got to talk about major symbolism in this movie. The event horizon is pretty much a cross.
It is, yes.
Which I'm not an engineer, but I don't think a ship should be shaped like that. I don't know if you notice it, but when the medic girl, when she dies, when her son is like chasing her or whatever, the doorway that he's standing on is shaped like a coffin. Where she falls through the hole, to her death, it's shaped like a coffin. I have no idea what the symbolism towards the revolving blade walkway is.
That is also, yes. I noticed that, like, and I felt like it should be more, but yeah, it looks like they're walking through a meat grinder, kind of.
But funny. Sorry.
Yeah, just to get to the core.
Yeah. But maybe it's sort of like a symbol of you making your way into like a sort of hellish type of dimension. Maybe it's that, but the explanation from the doctor was it's supposed to keep the gravity in the ship balanced or something.
Right.
Funny thing I was reading on it is that was probably the most difficult part of filming for the cast, because it was actually revolving like that. And so Lawrence Fishburne had said that when he was walking through it, he would get dizzy.
It would disoriented. Yeah,
very disoriented.
I can see
he said
that.
It was the hardest walk he'd ever have to do. As you notice too, like when they first entered the ship, that room where all the stuff is floating is supposed to sort of be the same architecture that cathedrals are made out of.
Okay.
So like Paul Wes Anderson put a huge amount of symbolism and religion in this movie, and just made it a sci-fi. Colby, did you have any like favorite scenes in this film?
So it sounds so weird, like and it's so they Sam Neill, the doctor, hides a bomb on the Lewis and Clark.
Yeah.
Because they're getting ready to leave. They've patched the hole. They're gonna just,
get out,
dump the event horizon. And so the pilot, he sees the doctor leave, and at the same time, Fishburne's like, "Hey, one of the bombs, one of the explosives on the ring is missing. So keep an eye out for the doctor." And he's like, the doctor was just here. And so he's searching for the bomb. And it's one of those scenes where like he opens the bomb and you expect it to be, a minute and him have to like fight and like what wire to cut. But he like pops open and the bomb and the countdown's like already at 5. And then they close up on his face and it's just that like disappointment on his face as he knows the end is just 5 seconds away. And it just, I don't know. It was like a powerful scene to me. Like it was.
Yeah. I don't think it's disappointment. I think it's despair.
Despair. Yeah.
Yeah. Just he already knows he's effing the A.
Yep.
Yeah. I think one of the more horrifying scenes for me, I think it's because maybe I had not like a nightmare maybe like this when I was younger, but it's when Justin is in the air latch and he's speaking to like the person who's like a mom to him on the ship, He calls him mom. He calls her Mama Bird, and I think he calls him Baby Bear.
Yeah,
or something like that. And he at first he's possessed. He's like, you don't know what I've seen. There's darkness or something all around. But he presses the button and it starts to count down to open the air latch.
Oh, right, where he locks himself in the airlock.
Yeah. But the moment he does that, like the ship lets go of him, and it's like it wants to revel in his despair that he's about to get launched into space.
Right.
Because he's calling out to her like, Mama Bear, what's happening? Oh my God. And then Lawrence Fishburne is trying to make his way into that part of the ship, and he tells him, let all of the air out of your lungs.
Right.
And maybe you could survive this, but he ends up just dying out there.
Oh, well,
or sort of save him.
Yeah, that's what the doctor says. He's like, well, he'll probably survive by the time we to Earth, but he's certainly not going to be pretty looking anymore.
Yeah. Oh man, and that's always have been one of my biggest fears, is to just be in space and get launched into it.
Right.
Like every space movie has that, and it's like, no, I don't want that at all.
Yeah.
Oh, like the Wandering Earth when the Russian guy died, it's just like, oh, it's
right.
It's always terrifying. But that was probably one of the hardest scenes for me to watch. I was like, oh, don't. Oh, he's gonna.
And this is dumb, but like the one jump scare that really got me was with that one, like, it's coming. There's a problem with one of the fuses, and so he goes through those, like, the panel room where, like, it's like he's crawling through the green panels.
Sorry to interrupt. Which is, by the way, probably just a leftover from The Cube. If you guys haven't watched that or heard our podcast on it, go ahead and check it out. But go ahead.
Yep. But he gets there and he starts to hear voices, and then like the cubes start to like slowly like shut down, like as it comes towards him, like, and it gets darker and darker and darker, and then they pop on and his wife is like right there, and it's like ridiculously dumb to not expect something to happen there. But that was the one where I was like, oh God.
Oh, you know what? That was probably one of the hardest scenes to watch too, as he has to relive the moment his wife commits suicide, and then this hell dimension starts to implant it more in his mind that this is your fault.
Yep.
She died because of you, and then it is not really enjoyable to see boobs in that situation.
Right.
Because she slits her wrist, her eyes are like cut out, and she's talking, and it is super terrifying.
Yeah.
Oh man. Is there anything like else you liked about the film?
There was obviously, like, I liked I guess I was surprised by that 20-minute super gore fest kind of speed through what hell actually is.
Yeah, the torture dimension.
The torture dimension.
Pretty much Hellraiser's like playhouse.
Apparently that was a long scene as well, and then they just took little tenth of a second snippets out of each. And so, like, one of the things I was watching is the director actually hired a bunch of like amputees and stuff so that it was even more real than practical effects.
Yeah.
Like, you just put a little blood at the end of somebody's like
stub
and yeah. But the test audience found that a little distasteful. And so
they said they signed up for it. It's not like Paul Wes Anderson was like, "Hey, you amputee, you have to be in this movie."
Right.
See, you know what? It's more of a shame that, because I also heard that that scene for all the actors to film was extremely uncomfortable. You know, being either tied up or having all of that corn syrup on you was just it. I hate being sticky for like 10 minutes.
Right?
You know, and just imagine those actors being
one
sticky
drop
for hours.
of like syrup after breakfast between your fingers, and you're just like, I can't wait to wash my hands.
So just imagine being stuck in that for like hours on end for the day.
Right.
And then when you watch the final cut, you're like, why did I even have to do it? But yeah, it is pretty it is pretty disturbing because they go at it they probably ramp up the speed to like 100th of like 100 times.
Right.
Amplifying. So it's even more very disjointing, it's very jarring to watch. Yeah, it's pretty bad.
It's you jump back to the Matrix and they watch how to fly a helicopter in fast motion and then they know how to do it. That's kind of what it was. It was like 20 seconds of like this stuff in super high speed just getting power drived into your brain.
Yeah, so obviously not a fun time on that trip. I will never be on it's never good to have the first thing.
Right.
You know, the first iPhone had a lot of problems. The first run of the PlayStation 2 or 3 had a lot of problems. You have to get it like later, like when they've had 50 more years to perfect it.
Yeah, let that jump a few times and not hit the horror dimension, and then maybe we try it.
Well, I think the horror dimension is the space between the 2 points.
Right.
Like A.5 and then B. But it also just lets you know, like, hey, you shouldn't be doing this. There's a Eldrazi in there. I was just listening to a Eldrazi lore video earlier this day, and they were talking about how if you guys don't know what Eldrazi is, it's very nerdy. It's about Magic the Gathering. It is pretty much the Cthulhu creatures of that card game.
Yeah.
But they're saying that I didn't know that the Eldrazi were they lived in between planes, the dimension in between the planes.
Oh, okay.
So you know what? I'm really surprised that there hasn't been a Cthulhu movie.
So there
like a recent one.
I think that they're making one.
Oh, okay. Because I mean that is just really ramped up in the last couple of years, like H.P. Lovecraft stuff.
Yeah, definitely.
And there was a video
you're
game.
right, and they haven't really done a real movie. I'm like, you get some where it's like the premise in the background, but you're never really seeing. I guess maybe it's almost like it's too big to do, and if you put it, people will be like, that's not what Cthulhu's like.
Yeah, I guess the cult following is too big to do it right, and even if you try to stick. Yeah, I guess. But I mean, this also has a cult following, and people love it even though it's flawed.
Right.
So, Paul Wes Anderson, if you're listening, I think you can do it again. After Monster Hunter, I need you to get back on the horse and reboot Event Horizon. You could have Michael B. Jordan play Lawrence Fishburne. He's still hot right now. I don't know who else.
You could almost have Lawrence Fishburne play
he still looks good.
Yeah, in the same part. He's just an older, wiser captain now. Yeah, not quite as much running.
I think if Lawrence Fishburne just like got with with The Rock, or you could even have The Rock be Lawrence Fishburne in this.
You could.
The highest paid actor 2 years in a row. I don't know if he'd go back to a space horror film after Doom, but it's time for you, Rock. It's time for you to start doing horror films again.
Right. Yeah.
Who would you have play the Doctor?
I don't know. See, you should have given me this question so I had some time to think about it.
Yeah. I have one for you.
Yeah.
And I think it's a good shift of character for him. But Joseph Gordon-Levitt. I want to see him. I want to see him play a villain role more now, because he's always like Joseph Gordon-Levitt has been like sort of the boy next door type of image for a long time now, except for like maybe Don John, where he was a porn addict. But even then, he still looked too nice. But or even Topher Grace, he sort of has that nice next door neighbor guy feel to it. But I would love to see Joseph Gordon-Levitt do.
I could see that because he's a rather decent actor.
Yeah, I think like I remember he in an interview he had talked about having a nightmare where he was with the Third Rock of the Sun crew or cast, but the show had kept going on for like maybe 13 seasons, and he was disappointed that he never ventured out to grow more as an actor.
Okay.
So I mean, now of course he has like his own. I think he has his own media company. It's called Hit Record, something like that. But yeah, it would be really cool to see him play sort of a menacing. Like, of course, in the beginning he's a wide-eyed scientist, but more towards the end he becomes more menacing, more evil, and I think that'd be really cool. And I think he'd complement. I don't know if he'd complement The Rock, but Michael B. Jordan. You know? I guess if he went back on his Don John bodybuilding days, it'd be kind of cool. But yeah, I think he has sort of like a really good feel to him, where he's sort of has like he could even play Carnage because he has that sort of lean type of body,
right?
But it's I think it would be really cool to see him in this villain role.
It would be It would be very interesting.
So we're coming to the end, so we got to go to the reviews. If this is your first time coming or listening to the show and you don't know how a review system is, it is stream it, DVD it, Blu-ray it, and Ultimate Box Collection, where it's going to come with other space horror movies. So Colby, where are you at your review?
At this point, I think probably because of the limited amount of extras, I would probably DVD it.
Yeah.
I feel like you go to Blu-ray, sometimes, you get the higher quality just amplifies how old some of the special effects are.
Yeah.
DVD's probably where I would land. If they find a hidden stash of extra material, I would bump this probably all the way to Ultimate Box to
with other space horror films.
Yeah.
Or even just by itself.
Right. Yeah. I would buy this in like come looking like in the ship or something.
Oh, right. The Event Horizon ship. Or even it would be in the Gravity Engine. Oh, see.
Oh, yes. Yeah, and you would have to turn it to open it up. And the disc would be in the middle. Oh.
Right. Definitely, I would probably be in the same boat with you if somehow they were able to come out with the director's cut where it had the extra 45 minutes and it became this 2 hours and 20-minute movie or 2:10, whatever it was supposed to be. Sorry, I'm not a mathematician, guy. I know everyone's on the comments would be like, "It's simple math, man." But yeah, if it became, I think it's like 2 hours and 5 minutes, and it had all the extra effects, it had all the behind the scenes stuff, I would definitely buy it in this Gravity Engine special edition box. But it doesn't have it. So I would probably, I would definitely get this DVD. It should be a part of my collection already.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I'm disappointed I don't own it as well.
Well, unfortunately now we're at a time where like owning DVDs and Blu-rays is sort of phasing out.
It is
almost
a badge of honor.
Yeah. It should let you know that I like this movie enough to let it take space in my home.
Exactly.
Oh, man. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the Flop Movie Month.
Absolutely. I think we probably could do this annually.
Right? Just like our Sci-Fi Movie Month.
Yep.
Which, it's gonna happen. But yeah, if you guys have anything you guys want to request to us, our email and our Twitter handle is down below. Please write a review for us.
Definitely.
Like us on any podcasting app that you're on. We're on Spotify. We're on iTunes. We are on Stitcher. Soon we're going to be on Amazon because they have started their own podcasting service. So hopefully, if that's what you guys are using, listen to us there as well.
Definitely.
Yeah. But this has been our show. I'm Barry.
And this is Colby.
And this is Who Watches This. If you guys want to check out who does our theme music, it is Lee Rosevere. You could find her Bandcamp down below.
Thank you.